So if I'm a Mexican fan, I'm super happy with the result. We're on to the next round, but still, tengo miedo. Tengo miedo. Tengo miedo. Bro, I love when Mexico plays, bro. I love it so much. You can feel, we're in LA, you can feel the excitement of the city. You can feel the love, and you go everywhere and you see Mexican flags and you see people celebrating, and I just love it.
You know, before we talk about the games, you know, one thing I thought was really amazing is the energy in Koreatown in LA. Did you see any of it? Like,
No, I didn't get to see him.
There was so many like street parties where there were Mexicans and Koreans watching the game together.
Oh,
And I don't think you get a version like that anywhere else in the US other than LA. Like, it was really cool to watch. You know, it was really cool to watch. Like, I think other than Mexico itself, where there's a bunch of Korean supporters and whatnot, I think here in LA is a very close second. I want to be part of that party situation. You know?
yeah. No, of course. Korean people are so happy, and so I love it. I love that they're all celebrating together. Now, as far as there's one team that won, clearly in this case is Mexico. How happy should Mexican fans be right now? What do you think?
Dude, I think they should be ecstatic. They're through. They're through. Come on, man. They're through. Mexico is one of those teams that always is a struggle bus. You know, it's like they stumble and they just like, you know, some ball hit Chicharito in the back of the head, and then it hit the post, and then it went in and made goal. Like, it was kind of like that train wreck. This is, you know, they won the first one, they won the second one, they're through. They don't really have to worry about game 3. They've already made it. Breathe, relax, like, prepare. Go have a taco, have some tequila. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's great. They should be super happy.
I love that you're looking at it from that perspective. I just can't help, man. I'm like, I just feel like Mexico deserves more. The Mexican people deserve more. What happened to the good old days with Emperador Suarez and Cuauhtemoc and Rafa Marquez and Chicharito and Vela? You know,
First of all, you named 2 people there that I don't think are on the same page as the other ones, but I'm not gonna say
I
who.
just threw it. Hello, I got crazy. El Cuchillo Herrera. I got crazy. I got crazy. I know. I'm glad you caught it.
2 of those should have stayed on the bench. They should have stayed on the bench, but I'm gonna let it slide because Mexicans should be very
Garcia
happy.
Aspe, Peláez, you know, Matador Hernandez. But I don't know, even if they weren't as great, they were like heroes. Like, they were just, I don't know, they were just something. The birth of the Si Se Puede. Remember that?
True,
Like,
true, of
all the
course.
beautiful, yeah. And then just looking at this Mexican team that, let's be fair, Korea is a good team. So
Look, Korea's a good team, and they put on a show that second half. Like, we keep saying hungry, talk about being hungry. And they were like, we're not going to just try and see what happens. We're going to go for it. And if we make it, great. And if you guys score on us again, then so be it. But I loved their sense of battle. I loved their sense of like, fuck it, we're going to go for it in Mexico. You know what I mean? I loved it.
in Mexico. But you know what? I felt like that was the feeling before even Mexico scored. I felt like it was still like Korea could have totally easily just won this game.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, there was a couple of chances that I forget which defender it was that got it out via bicycle kick right out off the line. Like, that was going to be a goal. And then right before the game ended, I forget the name of the goalie, Rangel, he turned himself into Memo Ochoa when Memo Ochoa was freaking cat-like. Did you see that at the end of I think it was like minute 7th or something, where like he saves one, he gets back up, saves the rebound, and then catches the ball? I was like, where the hell did that come from?
Yeah.
So, yeah, they could. I mean, it could have gone either way.
So this Mexico result of 1-0, their victory over Korea, what does it say about Mexico, or what does it say about Korea? Is it they barely beat them 1-0 because Korea is so good, or because Mexico is not that good?
I don't know that I will look at it in that way as the team as a whole. I think the Mexican defenders were on point yesterday. I think that's why Korea had such a hard time scoring, because they were getting through the midfield they were keeping control and possession of the ball, but that Mexican defense was on point. So, it's one of those things where like where the defender's really good or where the strikers in Korea, like your idol son, not turned on last night. What was it?
So what you're saying that the defense was on par with El Cuchillo Herrera, Emperador Suarez,
They
those
were
guys that you
on
love so much.
they were on par with defending against Korea.
Like I said, I still go back to the feeling. I feel like I'm really happy that, I mean, they are one of the hosts of this tournament. So they have this huge advantage, home field advantage. So you would hope that they would win more convincingly against their opponents. But you're right, they are to the next round. But I still feel like El Pueblo Mexicano deserves more. They deserve
Maybe,
better play.
maybe,
They
maybe,
just do.
maybe. But look, man, if
Not
we're being
not
real,
to.
if we're being realistic, I don't think Mexico had ever, and correct me if I'm wrong or if you know the stats, I don't think Mexico had ever used more than one naturalized citizen in their startup line. And now they have, I believe it's either two or three. So the fact that because Mexico to me is a very proud country and they always stuck to, we're going to play with people that were born here and et cetera. And now they're sort of adopting that, European style of like, listen, if somebody has a dad that was from here and you're quality and you want to come and represent us, we will allow that to happen because we know the talent is a little higher elsewhere. So, it's going to take a little bit of time, just like we were saying with the US yesterday.
But that's just a mystery to me. I said, how is it? There's like out of out of 100 and I don't know 60 million Mexicans that they have to choose 11. Like this is the squad they choose. Like I'll give you another example. Uruguay out of 3 million. Look at the freaking team they have. Although they didn't do well the first game, but I'm just saying compare. It's like Mexico has the money. They have the talent. All these kids come in and do great in sub 17, sub 20 tournaments, and then they get to this point, and it's just like I don't know. I feel like they should be a powerhouse. They should be one of the most successful powerhouse, successful teams in the world.
I don't know if I agree with that. I
Why
don't know if
not?
I agree with that
If
completely.
you have the resources, if you have the talent, and you have like that many people to choose from, you know.
Because they play in CONCACAF. Like you sound like my lovely Mexican commentators when they say that because Mexico dominates in the CONCACAF, they should be what you just said they should be. And it's one of those things where like I it's just not the same level. It's not the same level. Like, I feel like if Mexico played in, let's say, South America or Europe regularly, then they would sort of elevate to that level. But the fact that you play games against little islands and people that don't just, the Dominican Republic in Curacao, et cetera. And I don't mean to be disrespectful to any of those, but those countries don't follow football. And yes, of course, you're going to run circles around them. But then you go back and you have to face Germany, Italy, France, Spain. Of course, it's going to be a much different challenge. Brazil, Argentina. Those are the teams that, if they played regularly, I think the level would be up to par. But they don't.
So you
They
think it
don't.
just has to do with the national team just playing together, like all the friendlies that they're playing and just being in tournaments in CONCACAF that don't have the level? I'm talking about overall. Like for example, I mean, just they have the ability to export players. Hugo Sanchez. Like I don't understand why there's not so many. Like it should be the same way that like the world is filled with Argentinians. Like I
Mhm.
feel like the world should be filled with Mexican players. I don't know, just based on how successful, because you just talked about the league. The league makes a lot of money and it's the
Yeah.
most successful sport in the country. Like
Well,
it,
I mean, dude, I think the Mexican fans have to be right up there with the best of the best as
yes.
far as support. So, of course, that's going to make the league interesting because people want to go to the stadium. They want to go watch game. They want to spend money on the sport. So, of course, like it's going to be a financially healthy situation. But and the Mexican players also, yes, a lot of them leave to play overseas, but a lot of them don't. A lot of them stay in Mexico. And, it's just not the same level, I don't think. I don't think it's a wrong decision to stay in your own country and play, especially if you enjoy the league. It's totally fine. But once you get into the international level, there's another layer there that they don't they to me have yet to meet. But I think they can get there. I think they will get there eventually. I just don't think they are there yet.
All right. So going back to this game, that goal that Mexico scored, is it because of Korea's fault, the goalie's fault? Are you happy that Mexico didn't really create any chances?
I mean, no, I'm not. I'm not. They should have created more, but I am happy that the one shot they took went in. It's one of those things where, like, if you seize the opportunity, then you seize the opportunity. It would have been a problem had they missed that chance and then not created anything else. But listen, man, if you have one opportunity, you put it in the back of the net. Yes, you want you want the team to have more, but if they don't, they at least put that one in and it counts.
Sure, sure. So if I'm a Mexican fan, I'm super happy with the result. We're on to the next round, but still, tengo miedo. Tengo miedo. Tengo miedo. Because I don't know
And
if
you
they
should,
have
and
what it takes.
I think this is ¿cómo se dice? El interrogante, the big question mark with Mexico is once they get out of the group stage, which has happened several times, that's when they sort of like start to kick rocks and shit the bed. Are they going to be able to pull through this time? What do they call it? El
Yeah,
quinto
yeah.
partido is kind of like their like Achilles heel, and
But
regardless of who they
yeah.
play, they seem to go down at that point. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah. So before we go into the next game, the one last comment I have is you know that I'm a huge Son fan. Right?
They,
You and I got the
they,
chance to see him play live and earlier this year. And I gotta tell you, he got replaced, he got subbed out like very early in the game. What's up with that?
I think I don't know if it was early in the game. Didn't he come out like 60th minute or something like that?
Come on, but you're the star. You're losing down one. Don't you need that moment by your
But
freaking star?
but do you understand? And this brings us back to the first comment I made about the Mexican defenders being on point. I think they were able to neutralize him completely. And I think it was a very smart decision to sub him because he wasn't making, he wasn't having any effect on the team. So, yes, he's your star, but come on, if you have to take him out because he's being neutralized, you have to take him out.
I don't know. Big tournaments are made for big stars. You don't take your star out so early. I don't know. I think it was a mistake by the coach taking him out so early. I personally would have done that. All right, so
Interesting.
let's move on to the next game.
Let's
Canada
do it.
6, Qatar 0.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't think anyone expected that. Did you expect that?
No, not at all. Not at all. But I'm really happy. They're Canada is one of the host nations. So for that fan base to get to watch such a spectacle and watch their country have such a successful game, it's a beautiful thing.
Do you think Jonathan David just watched Messi and said, "Let me put on my Messi impersonation"?
Jonathan Dave, well, you know my favorite singer, well, one of my favorite rock singers, his name is Jonathan Davis, the singer of
Uh-huh.
Korn. So every time I see Jonathan David, I can't help but think of, you know who Korn is, right?
Of course, of course.
Right, there you go. So yeah, he had his hat trick, man. Good for him. Good for him. I loved it. And they were nice too. They weren't like penalties like some other people I know that do hat tricks with penalties. You know? I'm not gonna say names, but you know, mijo.
No, I agree with you. You know what? It's a very nice thing to see one of the host nations put on such a display. It was very enjoyable. I feel bad for Qatar because I feel like they got very turned around because of the red cards. And
Cards.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay, like you can't be that innocent. Oh, I feel bad for them. They got cards. It's like cards,
Well,
different situations, not just one red card.
but it's one of those things that like that horrific
Oh, yeah,
fracture that happened. Like I'm pretty positive he did not mean to do that. You know
of
what I'm
course,
saying? Like
of
you
course,
never try to do that to a teammate or like
of
an
course.
opposing you. But
No.
it definitely probably got in their heads. They were 2 men down at that point. There were many goals down at that point. Like it was kind of a disaster for them. Kind of a
Right.
disaster. And but I feel bad. I feel bad. I wish they would have been able to at least play 11 on 11 the whole time.
Right, right, right. It was a complete opposite. You have this one team celebrating, you have this team just couldn't wait to have the game over with. The you're talking about the feeling that the Qatar players had. It's so true. I think it was the fifth goal. It was an auto goal, like our own goal, right? And it just reminded me of like the way that he kicked it in. It was just like, yeah, acábelo, like get rid of it. Like just like, come on, let's just finish this game. I remember one time I was in one of these games that you have like little leagues. I'm not a big fan of being in like leagues, local leagues, because
Mhm.
those guys like they play like they don't have any plans the next day. You know how I feel about that. They're
Yeah.
all fouling, like they're playing like they have like no life the next day. Like, hey, we all got to work tomorrow. Relax. Like, but I remember there was a group of friends of mine who asked me, it's like, hey, we need a player really bad. Can you come in? And I was like, sure. How bad could it be? Oof. It was pretty bad. I went in there and played, and we had 5 players. It was a futsal. We had no subs.
Oh,
That team had like 12 players, and they just kept subbing. No mataron, weón. They kicked the shit out of us, right?
claro,
And
claro.
then, and it was, but it was funny because they also had the support. They brought like a big group, big fans, all the family. And I remember
Wow.
every goal, they would celebrate like it was the World Cup. And it was like, we didn't have anybody like supporting us. It was just the 5 of us, no subs, super tired. And I just remember thinking, like, why are these guys celebrating? Like, don't they know? Why are they celebrating so bad? So I remember it was like 3-0, 4-0, 5-0. Eventually it was like 10-2, right?
Wow.
But
Mhm.
every goal, the eighth goal was like, whoa, like ninth goal, whoa. And I remember the 10th goal. I got upset. It actually got to me, right? So there was like 4 or 5 seconds left, and they had just scored the ninth goal, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
what I did, it was like 5-4 is one of those things that you could see like the timer is coming down. So I just got it in the middle of the, I guess you could say half court, just to kind of take the ball out,
Right.
and I just kicked it back to the goal. And the goalie wasn't even there. It's like here. And the ball slowly but surely was like 3, 2, 1, it went in. And the fan base still, woo! Like the 10.
And I think they were just messing with you guys at that point. They had to have been, no?
But when I saw that player from Qatar kick that ball in, I saw myself at that little soccer game.
Of course. Of
Yep.
course. It's very sad it happens at such a big stage. You know what I mean? Very, very unfortunate that it happens at such a big stage and a big show. But I guess one of the things that I criticize about this World Cup is that there are teams in it that just simply don't have the level to be there. And I feel like Qatar is one of those teams.
So I want to ask you this, and I feel so much better after telling you that. It's like I healed something,
You
like
were able
something
to
was
heal,
released.
heal and let go of that
I
experience.
think
Good,
so.
good.
I think so.
This
But
is not only football. We will also get your chakras in line and your personality
yeah,
back to where it should be.
of course, of course. And you guys know me. I'm not kidding. So, but that's the question. When is it okay to stop celebrating? At what point, when you're humiliating a team and you're beating them? What is your thought about that?
I mean, come on. I think it's okay to celebrate. I don't think it's ever okay to rub it in the other team's faces. You know what I mean? Like for example, do you remember Germany, Brazil in Brazil? The Germans never stopped trying. They never stopped pushing. They celebrated the first few goals. They kept on playing, they kept on pushing, they kept on scoring. But then once they got past 3, 4, 5, they were just high fiving each other and let's go back to work. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it's one of those things like, hey guys, good job. We're not gonna let off the gas pedal. Let's do another one. Okay, we got another one. Hey, congratulations, well done. We're still 0-0. I think that's the right way to do it.
Okay. Okay. All right.
What do you think? You're from Chile? You might just be like, hey, hey.
No. Los chilenos así? No. Los chilenos así? No. Los chilenos así? No, 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 no. No, no, actually, I'm the type of player that I don't like to celebrate. I like my team to win the right way. I don't even like my team winning with like scandals or controversy or cheating, you know?
Yeah,
You know
yeah,
about
of
that.
course,
You know
of
about that.
course.
Barcelona against Chelsea, you know that. You
Oh
know?
my god.
You know
My
that.
God.
I mean,
My God. Don't even
I don't
get me
like to
started.
celebrate. I'm just saying, it is what it is. I just don't like to do that. Yeah. All right. We're gonna talk about the next game. Switzerland 4, Bosnia 1.
Talk to me. Talk to me. 4-1.
So if you see, I'm gonna ask you this. If you see Switzerland 4, Bosnia 1, what comes to mind? What kind of a game do you picture it being?
I mean, I mean, I just think what kind of a game? A very European game, a very tough, physical, long passes, long ball type of game.
Okay,
is
but
what I imagine.
you clearly see the 4-1 and you see that one team dominated 4-1,
Right,
right?
right.
This was not the case, man. Such a lying score for what the game was.
Really? Really? I
Yeah,
didn't watch the whole thing. I couldn't
I know,
catch it.
and I have to tell you that it was crazy to watch, and I feel terrible for people in Bosnia. Dude, I have a lot of friends from Bosnia, and I love them, and it was just such a the best way to describe it would be like a heavyweight match, like a heavyweight boxing, a fight, in which they have two guys just going at each other, boom, 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 and nothing is happening up till minute 73. It's just back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, and then all of a sudden, boom, Switzerland scores.
Mhm.
And it's like that one boxer that just kind of is able to knock the other one down.
Right?
And maybe because it was just so like could go in either way, that after that they were just not able to get back up. It was, and it's crazy because it was at minute 73. You still had 17 minutes to do something about it. And then after that was a completely different game. Bosnia saw themselves down 2-0 with one less man within a couple minutes. And it was a completely different game. So it's like imagine two boxers going at each other, and then one knocks the other one down, and then just kind of it changes the whole fight. So
Wow,
sad.
that's crazy. That's
So
crazy.
sad.
That's
Yeah.
crazy. You're right. Just weird score then to have.
Yeah. No, absolutely. And so it was probably the most lying score that I've seen in the World Cup. And I am cheesily, because I'm making fun of this, because I don't feel this way at all. But we had some Chilean presence in that game.
Did we?
We did.
Because
Yeah,
you went to the game?
we have our own Quiñones, dude.
Because you went to the game? That
No,
wasn't it?
we have our own Quiñones. We have a guy named Rodriguez who's half
Ah,
Chilean.
okay.
Yeah,
So you did go to the World Cup. Great.
it's a great feeling to be at the World Cup, bro. What can I say? It's 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 nuestro chilenito. He
It's
actually made the right decision. He got asked to be a part of the Chilean team, and he said, "Nah, I'm good. I'm good with Switzerland." At the time, Chile had his golden generation, Vidal, Sanchez,
right.
and he would have been like our left back, and he's like, "Nah, I'm good." Like they asked him to be a part of it. And since then, he's gone to the World Cup every year with Switzerland, and Chile has been watching it from home. Pero ahí está,
Right. Right. So at
nuestro
least he got to go and
chilenito,
enjoy it, but at least he's there. So
nuestro
congratulations.
chilenito.
Exacto. Exacto. Talk to me about Czechia and
Yeah.
South Africa.
Well, so Czechia scored like super quick, like within the next 5 minutes, and you thought he was going to be done. But then South Africa came back. And then it was just one of those boxing matches of just like, como que no pasó mucho, honestamente. It's one of those games you have in the background. Like, you're kind of chilling, you're doing things. You kind of have it in the background.
Yeah. Again, I think it was one of those games. I don't know if you did this exercise before the World Cup started, but I did it kind of at home by myself in my head. You looked at the groups and you saw what matches were going to be, the first two or three, and you were like, I won't watch this one. I won't watch this one. I won't watch this one, because it's just like, I'm not going to spend 90 minutes, 2 hours doing that. This was one of those games for me. And I apologize. I do have my South African friends, and it was just like, I, I feel bad saying it, but it's one of those things where it's like, we could have had more interesting games had we kept it down to 32 teams instead of 48.
No. We have more. We have more games. Never. I love this 48 game format. I love it. More
Listen,
games.
I love the 48 game format if the qualifying somehow found a way so that we could still have Chile in the World Cup, Italy in the World Cup, teams that have been to the World Cup and have made an impact in the World Cup rather than Czechia and Curacao and Haiti. That's what I'm talking.
Italy, Chile, they're not in the World Cup because they didn't deserve to be in the World Cup. These teams that made it to the World Cup, they did it. They qualified. They did what it took to qualify. Chile, I love them. Chi, le, 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 but they don't deserve to be in the World Cup right now.
They don't
You-
deserve to be in the World Cup right now. I agree that Chile is not at their best. I know, I get that, yes. But do you really think that if you send South Africa, Czechia, Curacao, Haiti, Qatar to the qualifiers in the CONMEBOL in South America, do you think they would have made it? Absolutely not.
You're right.
0% chance. They wouldn't have
You're
made
right.
it.
You're right.
They wouldn't have made it. So they wouldn't be in the World Cup. So that's what I mean. That's what I
You're
mean.
my brother. You have turned me. You did. You did good. You have turned me. Before we go, I wanted to know something. What are your feelings about these water breaks?
Oh my God, I can't stand them. I
Okay.
cannot stand them. I cannot stand them. I understood them. As you know, I played the sport at a competitive level. Were exposed to that when the temperatures were crazy. I totally get it. But these, they have to be on minute 23, both halves, regardless of, they're playing in Houston. Houston is covered. It got AC. It's perfect 70 something degrees. Get the hell out of here with a water break. I hate that they put commercials and marketing and making money before the sport. You know what I mean? Because they now have turned football into basketball. It's now 4 freaking quarters with a tactical talk in the middle of each half. What the fuck is that? No, no, no.
All right. You know who disagrees with you?
You do? I hope not.
I'll get into what I think in a second. Croatia. If you
Yeah?
watch the England-Croatia game, England was just dominating, and then they had that water break, and that Croatian coach said, "Come here," and then he just started talking to them and got crazy, and then Croatia came back and tied, and it was another game, the second quarter. I don't mind it.
It's exactly why it shouldn't happen.
I
Because
don't
if you
mind
have
it.
one team that has figured out how to dominate, completely overtake the opposition, why in the hell do you get a 3-minute long break where your coach can make all of those adjustments? No, the whole
Well,
point of football is that you don't get that chance until the half.
if you have a good coach, that coach is also going to make adjustments. Okay, he's not just going to chill. Although I've seen it. Hey, good job, guys. All right, que agüita, tacos, tacos. I've seen it. I've seen the coaches that just get crazy, and I've seen the coaches like, bien, bien, bien. ¿Cómo está la familia? Pues bien, ¿qué dice tu tío? Like I've seen that. If the coach uses those 3 minutes to guide his team, sure, who cares? I'm used to, dude, basketball. I'm good. I love basketball, football. 2-3 minutes. Come on, we're so used to like the whole. No, I need to have every. Dude, it's 2-3 minutes. Tranquilo, no pasa
It's
nada.
a dude, and
I can go to the
it's
bathroom.
2 3
Great.
minutes is a very long time, and I absolutely despise and hate that they send us the commercials. If at least those 3 minutes were like, let the camera be on the field, let us hear the conversation, just like they do in the UFC or boxing. Let us see what the players are saying or doing. Let us hear the coach. That would be a different story. But no, let me show you this Bank of America and Chase and Honda and Toyota commercials and beer. Go get your own. No, get out of here.
Okay. Actually, you know what? I don't mind the idea that you just brought up of just having the camera stay with the teams and seeing the instructions and all that kind of stuff. Kind of like you're saying, like UFC.
That
Interesting.
wouldn't make FIFA any money. So
Yeah. What I want to know is what you guys think about that. Okay, leave your comments.
please
Do you agree with Kadyr? Do you agree with me? Me,
let us know.
I don't care. Kadyr, no, no, no. It has to be the 45 minutes, no breaks. Let us know what you
I
think in
mean,
the comments.
give me a 2-minute break if it's 120 degrees outside and we're out in the middle of like July. Of course,
Yeah.
do it. But if we are 75 closed stadium and in freaking LA, we don't need it.
All right, guys. You heard it. We'll see you guys next time.